Are you moving to Massachusetts and kind of thinking about which towns to move into because you have children and the schools are extremely important to you? Well, a lot of people told me that that's one of the main reasons they want to move to a certain town, certain area, because of the public schools. And they heard so many wonderful things about the Massachusetts public schools. Sometimes that's the main reason why they're moving. So I'm introducing you to 10 best ones, but also there are so many more. Please note that I didn't include charter schools, private schools, middle schools, elementary schools. Many of the schools are ranked in top 100 in the US. So any of the towns that you choose, any of the schools that you choose, you're going to be in an excellent shape. And these schools not only have strong academics, but also excel in sports, in music programs, in drama, in clubs, and everything else. So stay tuned. So I used US News high school rankings as my guide. Now, how do they choose which high schools are ranked at the top? They assign percentages to different categories. So it will be college readiness, state assessment performance, state assessment proficiency, underserved student performance, college curriculum breadth, and graduation rate. Well, let's go to number 1. It's Boston Latin School. Now, this is the oldest school in the whole of US. It was established in 1635, and in old ages and even now, the level of the school is so high. It's on the same level as like New England prep schools, but it's a public school. Now, it's not easy to get into this school. Your students' grades need to be very high, and you need to be a resident of the city of Boston. The school serves grades 7 to 12, and you can get in grade 7 or grade 9. Let's talk about what the pricing is for a single family or a condo in Boston. Average price for a single family house is $1,158,000, and the condo's average sale price is $1,046,000. Depending on which part of Boston you choose to live in, each neighborhood is completely different. So there are some neighborhoods that have only condominiums and no single-family homes. And there are some neighborhoods that have a lot of single-family home options. I knew a couple of people who graduated many years ago from Boston Latin School, and they say that everybody, all the graduates, were either going to Harvard or MIT or any of the Ivy League schools, and they have become very, very successful individuals in their professional lives. So second on my list is Lexington High School. Again, I want to remind you that I'm not including charter schools. So in the US News high school ranking, you'll see public schools, charter schools. I'm not including those. So Lexington High School is number 3 this year in 2024. And Lexington is going through a major growth. The high school is amazing. I know some students that were there recently and they went to Harvard. They were part of math club, science club, and theater, musical theater. And Lexington High School has many opportunities for anyone to explore their different talents. If you're living in Lexington, you are automatically eligible to enter Lexington High School, which is amazing. Now it's 2024. There are plans to have many more affordable housing and denser housing available in the near future. So if you're moving in 3 years, you will have much more choices, many more options when it comes to housing. And right now, Lexington is this nice suburban town. The beauty of it is it's very green. It's close to Boston. It has good transportation inside Lexington, and also to get to Boston. It doesn't have commuter rail or a subway like major transportation, but it has many buses. So single-family homes in Lexington are very popular, and the average sale price is $1,975,000. Yes, I know it's not very cheap. For condos, it is $964,000, the average sale price. There are more condos coming up in the next 2-3 years, so the number might change, but that is Lexington. Next on my list is Hopkinton High School. Now, it's 7th according to US News High School rankings. It's another high school where you can go in as a resident of Hopkinton. You don't need to pass an exam or anything like that. It is located in a place that it's closer to Worcester than it is to Boston. It's about 25 miles to Boston and 20 miles to Worcester. So Worcester is the second biggest city. So if you are thinking you want to be close to the nightlife or a city life, Hopkinton is not really for you. The average sale price in Hopkinton is $1,218,000 and condos are $716,000. That's the average sale price. Definitely a much more affordable option than Lexington. Next on my list is Dover Sherborne High School. Now, two towns that were pretty small, they decided to combine their children and make one high school, which is in Dover. It is grade 9 to 12. If you are living there, you are eligible to go to this high school. Dover single family average sale price is $1,665,000 and Sherborne's average sale price is $1,451,000. Number 5 on my list is Boston Latin Academy. So that's another very old school. It used to be all-female school and there were some very famous people came out of that school and made a huge splash in the world. There's another high school with a very long history. Not to be confused with Boston Latin School. Boston Latin Academy is located in Roxbury and it continues to show very high level of education and everything else. ActonBoxboro High School is again two different towns connected to make one high school. Grades 9 to 12. Now, Acton is closer. It's about 40 minutes to Boston. And Boxboro is a little further, but Acton is a little more active with more stores. And Boxboro a little more rural. Average sale price in Acton is $1,048,000. Boxboro $1,111,000. Again, not many condos since they are very suburban towns. Number 7 on my list is Wayland. It's number 11 on the US News High School ranking. Wayland High School is much smaller. It has less than 1,000 students. A new building was built in 2012. One of the comments that I got from my old video about school said, yeah, all the expensive towns are on your list. Well, it's true. The towns that I'm mentioning, they're all pretty affluent towns. And maybe there is a connection. You know, they have more funds for the school. They offer more programs for the children. They have better teachers. The teacher-to-student ratio is different because they can afford more teachers. So there's a lot of connection with that. My name is Nouné. I'm a real estate agent in Massachusetts. If you're thinking of buying or selling, please reach out to me. The next town on my list is Weston. Now, Wayland and Weston were always on the top of any kind of list. But this year, somehow they got much ahead. So they're 11th and 12th this year. Weston High School is another small high school. It has even fewer students than Wayland. Weston is about 12 miles from Boston. It's not that far. Now, Weston single families are much more expensive. The average sale price is $2,813,000. There are very few condos. Weston is much more affluent town than any of the towns that I mentioned before. By the way, if you have a child with special needs, a lot of the Massachusetts schools are very good at that and they have special programs. One of my clients was coming from Los Angeles, had a lot of success with Arlington High School and she was raving about it. She's a teacher herself, so that comes as a very high praise for Arlington High School. Number 9 is Medfield. It's number 13 on the US News High School rankings, and Medfield is also kind of further away from Boston. So if you are working in Boston, might not be a good idea to buy there, but it depends. You know, when people come from different states where they are used to traveling long times, they come and say, oh, I don't mind if my commute is 45 minutes to an hour. I'm like, really? We're not used to that. We're not used to driving 1 hour. It's not a regular average thing to do. When somebody says, I need to drive an hour to get to work, we're saying, oh, poor thing. How do you deal with that? It's like a big deal. Single family in Medfield is $1,206,000. And number 10 on my list is Bromfield. That's Bromfield High School, which is in Harvard, Massachusetts. And recently I had somebody move from another state and they decided to buy in Harvard, Massachusetts. And the children are very happy, I have to say. And Harvard single family is $1,045,000, so much more affordable. And there are no condos basically in Harvard, Massachusetts. I'm going to give you a bonus one. Those were the 10. The bonus one is Belmont High School. My kids went to Belmont High School and they loved it. They have a new high school. Belmont location is amazing because it's so close to Boston that you can be there in 20 minutes without traffic. If you're enjoying this information, don't forget to like and subscribe. For a very comprehensive video about the whole Boston area, watch my video here. I even explain what the major routes are